Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're exploring something that, well, it might genuinely surprise a lot of you listening. This quiet decline in energy, confidence, and sexual performance that often hits men over 60. It gets dismissed so often, doesn't it, as just getting older. Maybe it runs in the family. But what if the real issue isn't, just an inevitable decline? What if it's something more basic that we're missing? So our deep dive today, it's built around advice from a urologist. He shared this on the Wellness Guide 101 YouTube channel, and he focuses on just a handful of simple, everyday vegetables. Really common stuff. Our goal here is to distill that complex info into insights you can actually use, giving you powerful knowledge to feel, well, even more informed and in control of your health, specifically around improving blood flow, raising natural testosterone, and restoring strong, lasting erections.
It really is fascinating, isn't it? How often we overlook the most powerful solutions. Sometimes they're literally right there in the fridge.
Yeah.
This deep dive is it's really an exploration into how these common vegetables, when you use them strategically, can profoundly affect your hormone balance and optimize blood flow and genuinely restore that overall vitality. It's about uncovering a natural path, a sustainable one, to reclaiming what might feel lost. And importantly, without prescriptions or, drastic changes.
Okay, let's unpack that then. The urologist's core argument is pretty compelling. He's basically saying most men over 60 are unknowingly weakening their erections daily because they're missing key nutrients. Not because of bad habits necessarily, or just unavoidable decline. That does simplify things quite a bit. But are there other common age-related issues that maybe trace back to the same root cause, blood flow, nitric oxide, beyond just sexual health?
Oh, absolutely. If you connect the dots, it becomes really clear. Erections are fundamentally about blood flow. That's the core mechanism. And as men age, yes, the body's natural nitric oxide production tends to decline. It just does. Arteries can stiffen up a bit, maybe some plaque starts to build up, and all that impedes circulation, that vital circulation. And like you said, it's not just about sexual performance. It links directly to broader things like, general fatigue, maybe feeling less sharp mentally, even memory issues. So the core solution, as the source suggests, it lies in supporting the body's own systems, giving it the specific nutrients it needs, which happen to be in these common foods.
Right, feeding the system. That brings us neatly to the first vegetable he highlights, one that's often overlooked, beets. The urologist shared this story about Alan, 68, retired school principal, pretty healthy otherwise, but experiencing this kind of numbness in intimacy. Alan apparently felt like nothing works like it used to, which sounds so common. It seems so straightforward, this beet idea, yet you mostly hear about pills, right? Why is this natural nitrate pathway focusing on beets so fundamentally different and maybe overlooked?
Well, the key insight with beets, it's their incredible richness in natural nitrates, dietary nitrates. Your body takes these nitrates and converts them into nitric oxide, NO for short. And NO is precisely what signals your blood vessels to open up, to relax their walls. That allows blood to flow much more freely. So more NO, it means better circulation, and consequently, firmer, fuller erections. There are actually clinical studies supporting this. Dietary nitrates, like those from beets, they improve vascular health, can help lower blood pressure, and enhance oxygen delivery all through the body. It's really about giving your body the raw material it needs to sort of reignite its own internal engine naturally, instead of just forcing a short-term chemical response.
That makes a lot of sense. Unlocking potential that's already there. So, practically speaking, how do you get these beets in? The advice was about half a glass of beet juice, maybe 3 or 4 times a week for the fastest results. But roasted or steamed beets work fine too. He mentioned eating them with healthy fats like olive oil helps you absorb the nutrients better. Oh, and blending beets into smoothies. With apples or carrots maybe, he called it a circulation cocktail. And Alan's transformation. Within 6 weeks, apparently, it was incredible. Not just better erections, but sleeping deeper, walking faster, even laughing more. He said he felt like me again. Just amazing. Okay, so if beets are the blood flow supercharger, what's next? The next green tackles another vital area for men over 60, natural testosterone, sustained energy. And the urologist shared another story, this one about Carl, 72, a widower, recently remarried. And he came in with this quiet anxiety, this fear of not being enough for his new wife. That's tough. We all know the Popeye connection, spinach for muscles, right? But what is it about this leafy green that actually impacts testosterone and blood flow? That's surprising.
Yeah, a lot of listeners might just think iron with spinach. But there's more. It's absolutely packed with magnesium. And magnesium plays this really key role in dilating blood vessels. So it directly improves circulation, which, yes, helps with erection ability. But crucially, magnesium also helps regulate testosterone levels. As men age, T levels naturally dip, we know that. Spinach seems to help slow that decline. supporting the body's own hormone balance. It doesn't stop there. Spinach is also really rich in folate. That's a B vitamin. Folate is essential for healthy blood flow, specifically to the pelvic region. In fact, low folate levels have been linked to ED, erectile dysfunction. Plus, folate reduces inflammation, protects blood vessels, supports nerve health. It's a real multitasker for male vitality.
Wow, okay, so it really is hitting multiple systems. That's impressive for one leaf. And the advice was simple again. Just consistently add spinach to meals. A handful in your eggs, maybe toss it into soups or blend it into smoothies. He suggested bananas and almond milk work well, and Carl's results, he said, just 2 months later, profound. His energy was different. He felt more present, more confident, and intimacy. It just worked. Like my body remembered who I was. That's powerful. It really shows how those small, consistent steps can lead to pretty significant changes, not just physically, but emotionally too. All right, moving on. Next up is a vegetable that, let's be honest, doesn't exactly scream romance, but the urologist promised a profound impact: garlic. He shared the story of Rhett, 74, retired Navy guy, and Rhett felt invisible, like the man he used to be was just slipping away. That's a heavy feeling. So garlic, how does it work its magic here? I know about cholesterol, but erections and hormones.
Right. Garlic's power really comes down to a compound called allicin. That's what gives it the smell, but also its potency. Think of allicin as kind of a natural internal scrub brush. It gently helps keep artery walls smooth and flexible, which in turn improves blood flow everywhere, but especially to those crucial blood vessels that feed an erection. As arteries tend to stiffen with age, garlic works like a natural cleanser, helping vessels stay open and relaxed. Foundational stuff for a healthy erection.
Okay, a scrub brush. I like that visual. What about the hormone side? You mentioned it helps with testosterone.
Yes, that's the other part. Allicin can support testosterone production. It does this by helping to increase the release of something called luteinizing hormone. And luteinizing hormone is basically the signal your body uses to tell the testes to produce more testosterone. So it's an indirect effect, but a really vital cascade. It helps ensure your body is getting the right signals to keep production up.
Got it. An indirect but crucial signal booster. And the urologist's instructions for garlic were very specific, weren't they? A clove or two of raw garlic per day. And you have to chop it and let it sit for about 10 minutes. That activates the allicin before you add it to meals. So yeah, no cooking at first if you want that full effect. Guess the aroma is the trade-off. He suggested adding it to dinner specifically to support that overnight vascular health and hormone balance, which is key for maintaining those early morning erections. And Ray's transformation was pretty amazing. 6 weeks later, felt alive again. More energy, more affection with his wife, intimacy improved, reminded him of the man you've always been. Fantastic. Okay, next up, celery. Often just sits there in the fridge drawer, right? But the urologist calls it a secret weapon for men over 60 dealing with low energy, low drive, low confidence. He told a story about George, 66, former high school football coach. Felt sluggish, energy was affecting everything, including the bedroom. How does something as, unassuming as celery become a secret weapon, especially for confidence and drive?
It's a fair question. What's celery got going on? Well, its hidden power lies partly in these compounds called androstenone and androstenol. These are actually natural plant-based pheromones, and they seem to influence how your body processes and releases testosterone. They might even subtly affect how masculinity is perceived, which ties into that confidence piece.
Pheromones in celery. Okay, that's unexpected.
Right. Beyond that, celery is also packed with vitamin K. Good for healthy blood flow, cardiovascular health, both absolutely crucial for erection quality. And here's where it gets really interesting, I think. Celery contains something called apigenin. Apigenin is a natural anti-inflammatory, and animal studies have shown it can actually boost testosterone production. Think of apigenin as kind of quieting down the inflammatory noise in your body. This allows your natural hormone factories, if you will, to operate more smoothly, more efficiently. So it's not forcing anything. It's creating a better internal environment for your natural T levels to rise.
Creating the right environment. I like that. Makes sense. And the practical ways to get it in. Adding celery to morning juice, maybe with apple, lemon, ginger. Or just snacking on celery sticks instead of, say, chips. Simple swaps. George's shift, it was subtle at first, but significant. Around week 4, he said he got his mornings back. Woke up with energy. His wife apparently noticed he was even standing a little taller. And the urologist mentioned patients often report feeling more assertive, not aggressive, just more grounded, more like themselves. Okay, let's talk carrots. Most people think eyesight, right? Vitamin A. But the urologist reviews they have a powerful role in male sexual health, too. He shared a story about Frank, 71, retired electrician, married over 40 years, loved his wife deeply, but felt his body just doesn't show up anymore. And he really missed feeling like a man. That's poignant. So beyond vision, what makes carrots so critical here?
Yeah, the science is actually quite clear on this. Carrots are loaded with beta-carotene and other antioxidants. These compounds actively help repair and protect the very delicate blood vessels and nerves that are essential for erection strength. They fight oxidative stress. That's the damage that builds up over time from diet, stress, just aging itself.
Okay, so repair and protection. What about that fertility mention?
Right, even though fertility might not be the main goal for most men over 60, the fact that carrots are linked to improved sperm count and motility, how well sperm move it, speaks volumes about the overall health of the reproductive system. It indicates better blood flow and function in that whole area. Plus, carrots have vitamins A and C, good for vascular integrity, keeping vessel walls strong. And their fiber helps manage blood sugar levels. And we know high blood sugar is a major contributor to ED as men get older. So it's really holistic support for that entire vascular system.
Holistic support, right? Strengthening the whole system, not just one part. And the recommendations were super easy. Eat carrots raw as a snack, maybe roast them with olive oil and garlic, or juice them with apples. Very doable. Frank's transformation sounded lovely. Within a couple of months, his energy felt lighter, his whole tone was different. He reported being close again with his wife and had this renewed sense of pride. These stories, they really show it's not just about the physical side, is it? It's about feeling whole again, feeling like yourself. Okay, finally we get to the last one. And the urologist called this perhaps the most important vegetable, asparagus. It's unique because the advice is specifically to eat it before bed. It works while you sleep, apparently. To restore circulation, improve overnight testosterone production, and prepare the body for powerful mornings. The story here was Walter, 75, retired accountant. His testosterone was lower, and he quietly mentioned wanting to feel useful again. Why nighttime? Why is that window so critical for these benefits, and how does asparagus fit in?
That's a really key point. Why nighttime? Well, it's basically when our bodies do most of their major repair and reset work. Hormones get produced, blood vessels repair themselves. It's prime time for recovery. Asparagus seems to work in perfect harmony with these overnight recovery systems. For starters, it's rich in folate. Again, we know that's good for blood flow and nerve function. It also contains glutathione. Glutathione is a really powerful antioxidant. It specifically fights the oxidative stress that damages the tissues crucial for erections. And it's high in vitamin E, which is linked to hormone regulation and natural testosterone production.
Okay, so it's providing the building blocks during that key repair time.
Exactly. And remember, most of your testosterone is produced during sleep, especially in those early morning hours, like 4 or 5 a.m. If your body doesn't have the right nutrients available in the evening, that crucial hormonal wave, that surge, it can kind of flatten out. And that often leads to reduced libido, morning fatigue, just feeling off. Asparagus helps provide the building blocks to support that vital overnight restoration and hormone production.
That's a critical insight. Focusing on nighttime recovery and that specific hormonal wave makes total sense. And the practical advice for Walter was pretty simple. Just add steamed asparagus to dinner, maybe 3 nights a week, lightly sautéed with olive oil, pinch of sea salt, easy. His results sounded truly transformative. Slept better, woke up feeling more ready, and that meant sexually and mentally. He used the word refilled. He didn't just get stronger erections, he felt like he got a stronger life. Just wonderful. So let's just quickly recap. We've taken a deep dive into 6 powerful vegetables. These aren't pills, not fads, just accessible, real food. And we've looked at the science behind how they can genuinely transform men's vitality over 60. We had beets to supercharge blood flow, spinach for testosterone and energy, garlic acting as that natural cleanser for your arteries, celery is the hidden trick for hormonal confidence, carrots repairing delicate vessels and supporting overall reproductive health, and finally asparagus, your nighttime powerhouse for overnight recovery.
Yeah, and addressing you, our listener, directly for a moment. I know there might be some skepticism listening to this. It sounds simple, maybe too simple. You've likely been told for years, maybe decades, that decline after 60, 70, it's just inevitable, part of aging. But decline is not inevitable. It truly isn't. I spent over 30 years helping men change this exact story. I've seen men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s turn things around dramatically. Not through extreme measures, usually, but by making small, steady choices. Choices that respect the body's amazing natural power to heal, to grow, and, yes, to flourish, even as we age.
It really is about getting back to basics, isn't it? And truly listening to what your body might be asking for. So we really encourage you, just start with one simple change. Maybe it is adding beets to a smoothie a few times a week, or tossing spinach into your eggs tomorrow morning, or maybe chopping that clove of garlic for dinner tonight. And try framing this not just about physical performance, important as that is. Think of it as reclaiming a deeper sense of yourself, feeling needed, feeling capable, and showing up fully in all your relationships.
Your body really does possess this incredible inherent capacity for healing and vitality. It hasn't given up on you. It might just be waiting for you to give it what it's been quietly asking for. These 6 vegetables, think of them as potent tools to unlock that strength that's already inside you, helping you build towards what could honestly be your most fulfilling chapter yet. So the question really is, what small, consistent choice will you make today to begin rising confidently into your best chapter?